Thank you, Dubitz, and thank you, FLC and our FLC Director, Ana Maria Losardi, for giving me this opportunity to share my tips on how to market financial literacy. So I'd like to cover 4 topics today in about 20 minutes and make sure that we have some time left for questions. The first thing I want to discuss is why should we consider marketing for financial literacy? And then I'd like to propose social marketing, tell you what it is, how it's different from education, and the best circumstances for using social marketing. If you're like me, you're probably wondering, it's near the end of the conference and you're saying, okay, I've spent a day and a half. Is this actually going to change anything I do when I return? So I would then like to share 10 tips, and I'm going to have you vote, okay, on the things that you are most likely to do or to change when you return. And the tips are related to designing interventions, communicating those interventions, and disseminating those interventions. And then if we have time, I'd like to briefly touch on my past and future social marketing projects in the field of financial literacy. But first, a quiz. Ready? It's a 3-item quiz, and then you have to provide the answer. I know you guys love quizzes, right? You have checkups, you have quizzes, so here we go. So here's the first question in the quiz. What does financial literacy have in common with this picture? How about with this one? And the answer is? Exactly. In fact, marketers often use those 3 things you saw. We use animals, we use babies, we even use the flag. We call it borrowed interest, those things that are inherently desirable. We match or connect the things we want to market with those things that are inherently desirable because we know that people will have a more positive evaluation of our products and services. But this tells us if financial literacy is not inherently desirable, we have to spend a lot of time to market financial literacy. Now, before I continue, I want to say that over this day and a half, and of course, I have known this now for a little while, especially since I started working as marketing director for the Financial Literacy Center, that I think compared to so many other fields, whether it's Save the Planet, health, the arts, religion, marketing of countries, I think that the world of financial literacy and planning is more ready than all of these other fields to leverage marketing tools and techniques. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. It's very, very exciting for someone like me who is a marketer because I hear it in terms of the way you think about your audiences, your need to, yesterday we heard so many examples of different groups, in fact, all the centers that are conducting focus groups and using other methodology to understand and tap into consumers' needs instead of assuming they know what consumers need. It shows in the interventions you're thinking about. It shows in the dissemination ideas you had. I don't think I've ever heard teachable moments more frequently in a day and a half. It's just fantastic. It's really fantastic. So given that you are so ready, for those of you who are already on top of this, I apologize, but I'm going to just do a couple of minutes primer in terms of what it is and when it's best used. And if you already know this, just check out for a few minutes, and then we'll come back to some ideas and examples. So what is this social marketing? It's basically the application of commercial marketing techniques. And here's the important part. It's used for analysis, it's used for planning, it's used for execution, and most importantly, evaluation of programs. And the key here is that we design these things to influence voluntary behavior, okay? That's the difference between marketing and social marketing. Sometimes people think marketing is very manipulative. Social marketing is all about encouraging audiences to engage in voluntary behavior. And you can see there, the next couple of words are voluntary behavior of target audiences. We pick and choose because, as I'll make the case very soon, customization is key. And the goal, of course, is to improve their own personal welfare and that of society. So now you have a definition of social marketing. When is it best used? Now, we have so many providers in this room, and I thought it would be very useful to just give you a minute to read the 10 conditions under which social marketing is best used by providers. I'll start off with number 1. Do you believe that there's negative demand for financial literacy? Just say yes. Yeah, there you go. So just read through that list, and I am sure that you will connect with at least half, if not more than half of that list. Okay, you're primed. So I'm an educator, I'm a marketer, so don't think, I feel like I'm the Eddie Murphy of marketing. I'm gonna diss education a little bit, okay? So you ready? What is the difference between financial education and financial literacy marketing? So let's just think about this for a moment. And the thing I want to focus on here is mindset. Here's the mindset of an educator. Look what I just did, right? I know this is a good idea, the social marketing thing. So I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to tell you why it's a good idea. And once I've convinced you it's a good idea, I'm going to urge you to act, right? This is what educators typically do. Social marketers never begin that way. They start off with the premise that you might not think this is a good idea. So we start off by asking you, what do you think of this idea? Why don't you think this is a good idea? Tell me what prevents you from thinking it's a good idea or from acting in a way that might be consistent with your goals, but you're not currently behaving in that fashion. What is it that prevents you? Those are our most precious nuggets. Someone tell me, if I could ask someone just one question, I would say, what are the things that prevent you from reaching your goal? That's what I want to know. As social marketers, what we do is we take these barriers and then we customize programs. We say, how can I design the intervention? So, I needed it, but I didn't have it with me. Well, then I'm going to create a little credit card for you. Well, it's not going to be called a credit card. So it's right there next to your card so you can remember it. Well, you know what? It was too complicated. I'm going to simplify it. You know what, I wasn't sure whether it was for people like me. Well, I'm going to make sure I provide you with that information. So those are the ways in which we customize programs so that people feel it is designed to overcome their barriers and take advantage of their motivators. So the next 2 slides give you a typical, very good, I think, example of what an educator approach to financial literacy is. This is how my teachers typically thought of me. Right? That it's your ignorance, it's your lack of motivation. What can we do? We have the best programs. In fact, I don't know anyone who has more programs than you guys, but people just won't pay attention. They won't listen. They don't want to learn. They don't care. They won't act in their best interest. Here's what social marketers do. And this is a project that I've worked on with FLC Director Anna Maria Losardi. And you can see on the left side are a whole host of barriers that we collected for that prevent people from enrolling in a supplementary retirement account, right? And remember, don't get fancy about this, okay? I'm in a business school. I have a lot of economics professors and finance professors going, are you serious? And I'm always serious. So look at this. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. And so you got barriers on one side, solutions on one side. You don't even have to agree with the solutions. But we had so much positive feedback from employees telling us that, you know what? At least you understood that I have reasons, right? You understood that I have multiple reasons, that you're not laughing at my reasons, and that, you're helping me, you're giving me ideas. Even if I may not agree with the ideas on the right, you're giving me some prompts to think about ways of overcoming my barriers. I want to give a nod to the National Endowment for Financial Education for providing us with a grant to help us do this study. So those are the basic differences between education and social marketing. And obviously, if people have different barriers, it tells you that one strategy or one plan is not going to do the trick. I was so thrilled when SSA developed the RFP for this grant. I could have written it myself. I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. It was customized for me. And look at all the components of it, right? to develop and produce interventions, not just information, but interventions. Tailor, wow, what a great word. Materials for people in different stages of their life cycle, and then go even further and customize these programs for people with different income levels or maybe with disabilities. And lastly, don't just do it for the product. Think about how you will disseminate it, right? How will you communicate this information? How will you distribute this information? Who's going to be your strategic partner to help you meet those goals? Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so now comes the last part, and you're wondering, could I have actually used anything? So remember, I'm going to give you 10 tips. Remember, always remember the audience. So I'm going to give you some examples, and then you have to think about Social Security. They're the ones who funded this, okay? So I'm going to use them as a case example. It's not just because I think they need the most help. It's because they're paying for it. Free consulting always requires payback. Ready? Okay, so the first one I told you, teachable moments, teachable moments, teachable moments, and I'm thinking, wow, that's brilliant, you're right. Always go for the target audience most ready for action. But let me tell you a couple of things here. How do you find those? Yes, you see a study right there by FLC leaders, Clark and Morrell, on how, employees who are eligible for a match may be most likely to think about retirement savings. Absolutely, it's a brilliant study. And we start thinking about other teachable moments. So let me give you a quick little psychological tip. We like to separate positive events, and we like to bundle negative events. Why do we like to separate positive events? Because we want to savor them. Why do we bundle negative events? Because we want them to get over as quickly as possible. We have pain threshold. I mean, if I went in and someone told me, you're getting one shot, do you want a flu shot too? What are you going to say? If you just ask me to do that separately, much lower probability. So let's start thinking about bundling negative events. If I want someone to focus on saving for retirement, let's bundle it with a host of negative events, such as medical enrollment, right? Other benefits enrollment, writing your will. How about partnering even with hospitals? Why not, right? Someone has a serious problem, good time to think about saving for your old age. And you start thinking about this. Getting a divorce, negative events, absolutely excellent. Bundle it. People are much more ready for action, much more willing to accept that they're vulnerable. Where is me? Even my little kids, they go, do you like this class? I don't like this class. It has nothing to do with me. Oh my, that's a scary thought, right? Soon as someone sees some communication, they want to say, where is me in this? Is this for me? Is this designed for some mass person, or is this for me? Again, FLC leader, director Anna Maria Lusardi and I did a project with help from the National Endowment for Financial Education, where we put multiple videos of employees telling stories. And these employees varied in age, gender, income, right? And you can see the results over there, where the control condition is about 7 to 8% of election in a supplementary retirement account without these videos. And when these videos are shown, you can see, an over 5-fold increase in the number of people, employees, participating in these programs. We've been running the study now for over 5 years. But the where is me, right? So same thing with Social Security. Why can't we have videos on the Social Security website of people talking about why this was important for them, how they use the benefit, what happens when they don't have the benefits? Easy. If you haven't seen me in some of these sessions during this day and a half, it's because I've been interviewing people up there in the balcony, in a room behind the balcony. I'm constantly asking people, tell me what's going on, tell me what motivates you, tell me what stops you from having, and these are brilliant because that's what people want to hear. They want to know how people overcame, in this particular case, their barriers to saving. Okay, make your losses transparent. I have to tell you that we seem to think that, if there's a match and people aren't taking advantage of it, the loss is apparent. It's not. I know how to cope with loss, and we all have to. I'm losing something by being here. I'm not with my kids because I'm here, right? The most common cause of life, I got the other way around. The most common cause of death is life. You want loss? So you have to make the loss salient. You have to make it transparent. Big nod to the Social Security Administration and FLC team, Brown, Captain, and Mitchell, for providing some guidelines on how to make this loss more transparent. Ooh, I love this one. We barely connect with our past selves, right? Who is this person? You look at your old pictures, your haircuts, clothes, who you spoke with, what you ate, all horrible, right? Who's this? Why would we connect to a future self? right? Who is this person? Why should I incur costs today for someone I don't even know tomorrow? And brilliant book on the left, I highly recommend it, on ways of thinking about our future more positively. Because unless we think about our future positively, why should we invest in it? Why should we care? And of course, there's also funky imaging technology now, which I highly recommend Social Security add to their website. You can download your picture and it will age you 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Pretty cool. I'm not trying to push this particular one. There's several of them. Very scary. And then you have, of course, simplify and refresh. You know, it's so complicated. 4,000 words in that Social Security statement, and I can connect to maybe 4. You know, sometimes it helps to just separate stuff. I know this is the land of lawyers. Why can't we say, this is really critical and this is supplementary stuff, okay? Put it in there, but I want this print to be like that and that print to be like this. Again, in a study with FLC Director Anna Maria Losardi, we simplified this. The whole big booklet, we had one simple sheet for how to go ahead and elect. We said, this is exactly how much time it will take. We partitioned the task. Take 30 minutes, 5 minutes for this, 3 minutes for this, 2 minutes for this checklist. And again, you can see the differences in enrollment 30 days and 60 days after the employee joined the firm. Okay, very simple. Make it simple and refresh it. Why do we have to get the same Social Security statement every time? People get inoculated. Been there, done that, seen it. Trust me, the original statement is not so beautiful that it can't be modified slightly. Okay, so you're ready? I'm looking at the time here. I won't be able to show you the next 5. I'm sort of on top of this, you know. It's a teaser. You can see the next 5 on the website, and I can actually give you one every week or one a month if you like, and get you to come to the website more frequently. But I want you to think about it. These are 5, vote. I want you to pick one that you think you will actually be able to use. So take a look again, bundle the negative events, customize to help people connect, make the loss transparent, use the technology to connect to future self, simplify and refresh. Raise your hand if you want number 1. You think that's the one you're most likely to use. Okay, remember you have to choose, thank you. How about 2? Okay, see, I'm gathering research. 3, okay. 4, you're gonna use this for yourself, right, for sure. And 5, awesome. This is so excellent. So now I'm gonna speed, you can see this, okay? This is like when you fast forward, this is called the T's. Ready? Oh, apps. Use cards. By the way, that Social Security card, you've gotta make it look like a credit card. This is the card I keep. Use prompts for I keep. You know why I have 24? It's my customized card. It's to remind me, wait 24 hours to purchase the product. You like? Simple. Really effective. I want something to remind people like that, you know, because you've got lots of other things, other competing things. We heard from Mike Barr at lunch yesterday, you know, about the Express card. Think about it. Good prompts. Specific goals, really good stuff. And I have an awesome paper called Active Choice, and it really, really bumps up enrollment and doesn't mess with disenrollment compared to opt-in. So it'll be on the website. See, I told you, teaser. And finally, have some fun. Can I tell you that other than the people here, all of us think old age can be very, very funny. You know, I think Social Security should have the joke of the day about old age, because we seize and freeze. We get so anxious. And again, it's a way of making us think more positively about old age. Old age can be very funny. And we can collect jokes for you. You can have a disclaimer. You can just say, we're not making fun of old people. Absolutely not. But you know, it's not all so bad. People can do very, very funny things in their old age. And you might find that people actually connect to it better. And no one connects to their audiences better with a lot of fun than FLC project, the D2D project. I mean, how can I not talk about this after Peter Tofano gave me such a nice introduction in the last session? Thank you, Peter, wherever you are. Okay, see? Voting time again. You get to vote. When you come to the FLC website, you get to vote on things. You get to tell us how much you liked it. You know how you have those rating systems for, on eBay or right on Amazon when you buy stuff? You can vote for things, and that gives us data, and we know, whether we need to give you more ideas like this or whether you'd like some different kinds of ideas. So here are some projects I'm working on. I don't have time to actually discuss these with you, but they're all on the FLC website. We will be discussing, the different phases of these projects and all the people who have funded us. So a big thank you and nod to all of them. You can see some of them are here. I think I might as well mention that the 5 core financial capabilities you heard about yesterday from Michael Barr. I am going to be working with the U.S. Department of Treasury to market those. We need to brand them. We need to market them. Just like everybody knows the components of the food pyramid, which, by the way, is a triangle. We can also talk about the different capabilities. So I'm looking forward to that project. And of course, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Social Security Administration. So I'm going to stop there and say thank you.